Hi, I'm Joseph Berardo. At MagnaCare, we believe that all citizens need to be informed about the healthcare issues that affect their lives. That's why we're proud to support the programming produced by the Caucus Educational Corporation and their partners in public television.
This special edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato is brought to you from the Tisch WNET studios at Lincoln Center. Funding has been provided by Oscar Health Insurance, Robert Wood Johnson University Hospital, the heart of academic medicine, Johnson & Johnson, Valley National Bank, NJM, auto insurance, homeowners insurance, and more, with a focus on safety and financial stability, the Fidelco Group, and by the Russell Berry Foundation. Promotional support provided by Commerce Magazine and by Meadowlands Regional Chamber, building essential connections that drive business growth.
This is One-on-One. I'm an equal American just like you are.
The jobs of tomorrow are not the jobs of yesterday.
Look at this. You got this?
Here it is, man. Look at that.
Life without dance is boring.
When you first heard that they were doing Charlie Rose and Gayle King, didn't you go, what?
Do you enjoy talking politics?
No.
People call me because they feel nobody's paying attention.
Our culture, I don't think, has ever been tested the way it's being tested right now.
That's a good question. High five.
Steve Adubato here in the Tisch WNET studio here in the heart of Lincoln Center. Not too far away from Fordham, the campus here in Manhattan. Why do I mention Fordham? Because this guy is probably the most famous alum from Fordham. Michael Kay, host of the Michael Kay Show on ESPN Radio, the star of Center Stage, also the voice of the New York Yankees on the Yes Network. It is an honor to have you here.
Oh, thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. I think Alan Alda's probably a bigger alum than me.
But hey, wait a minute. We just had Alan Alda's wife, Arlene Alda, who wrote the book about
Great
the Bronx.
lady.
And by the way, you were in that book.
Yeah.
And by the way, hold on, you have a name. The street is named after you in the Bronx.
Yeah, well, they have a Hall of Fame walk on the Grand Concourse, so one of the blocks has my sign there. But I think it's been stolen twice.
Don't be saying that.
It has been.
True,
Yeah,
right?
it has been stolen twice.
What did the Bronx mean to you?
I think it meant everything. I mean, I think it's still in me. I grew up very diverse neighborhood, and I was able to get along with different people. And we were poor, not even middle class. We were poor, and I just think it makes me appreciate the things that I have. So, I grew up in the South Bronx for the first 12 years, then moved to Throgs Neck when I was 12 years old, and I am the Bronx. I still have the Bronx in me.
Loved the Yankees as a kid?
When I was 9 years old, I sat in a class and I told my parents I want to be the Yankee announcer. I mean, I would watch every Yankee game or listen to every Yankee game, and I wanted to be the Yankee announcer because by 9, I knew I couldn't play. I was afraid of getting hit by a pitch, so in order to be involved with the Yankees, I have to be their announcer. So
who were their guys at the time in the booth?
It was Rizzuto, White, and Messer, and I always said there were 4 male voices heard in my house, my dad and those 3 men.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm really lucky.
And the Fordham connection. What did that mean to you? Because you talk about Fordham a lot, and I know they're real proud of you.
Well, you know what? They have such a great communication program. They have such a great radio station, WFUV, and the people that have come out of FUV, starting with Vince Scully, and it just blows you away, and Mike Breen, who's the Nick announcer and
right.
the NBA guy. We were best friends in school. I mean, we grew up together, and we'd sit in the campus center, and he'd say, I want to be the Nick announcer. I'd say, I want to be the Yankee announcer. And
wow.
So a little pixie dust in the air.
Talk a little bit about the radio show you do every day with LaGreca.
Yeah, Don LaGreca.
How much fun you have doing it? Let everybody know the hours and the whole
We're
bit.
on from 3 to 7, and we're also simulcast on Yes, so that's all around the country. Gives it more of a national flavor. And I love the show. I mean, we try to have fun. It's like 2 buddies talking about sports and involving other people, and we've added a 3rd person this year, Peter Rosenberg, who's more of a hip-hop guy. He does morning shows on Hot 97, so he adds a younger vibe because Don and I are getting a little long in the tooth. And we have a good time. We joke around about things. And the best way I could put it, what we try to achieve is kind of a Howard Stern sports show. But it is Disney-owned, so it can't be that much of a Howard Stern show.
Exactly. But you know what, Michael, one of the things about you, and also Center Stage, one of my favorite Yes shows. And I watched the Tyson interview from Center Stage for the 6th time the other day.
Wow.
And I'm not even joking, because you see different pieces of it. And I was watching a part of him talking. I don't want to get too into it. And I thought he was so powerful and emotional, and what you got out of him was so incredible. And I often think to myself, because I do what I do here, and I absolutely love what I do here, and I think to myself, does Michael pinch himself and say, I love what I do when I can't believe they pay me. I know it sounds ridiculous.
No, but I do. I'm glad that you brought that up because I tell friends that I grew up with, if I ever complain about anything, just slap me in the head. I mean, you know, yeah, so travel's not great when you're away from your family, but it's a small price to pay for the job you have. And sometimes, you know, we've had the biggest guest on Center State. They do a great job getting guests. And one time I was sitting across from Paul Simon, even closer than the two of us are, and he's strumming his guitar, singing the songs. And I'm thinking, I'm sitting here with Paul Simon. I mean, how lucky am I? I mean, the amount of guests that we've had and guys that you look up to. And I think that they like doing a show like that because it's an hour. It's not snippets of what they say. They get a chance to tell their story. So it's one of my favorite things that I do. I really enjoy that show.
It's powerful, and that's why I like it. When I see the year that it was, I say, it doesn't matter to me. It's timeless. It's evergreen.
You know what's great, though, Steve, is we've been on 14 years now.
Yeah.
And you could just see weight loss, weight gain on me, weight loss, weight gain on me, weight loss, gray hair. It's pretty
you
amazing.
You haven't struggled with that, have you?
Oh, my goodness.
Get out of here.
Oh, God. I'll lose 50 pounds every 2 months and then put it back, and, you know, it's terrible.
But I got to ask you something about that. When you're in the booth, and you say you struggle with that, and Paul O'Neill comes in there, and he's got the ice cream, and he's got the cookies, and he's got the cake, and he's shredded still.
He's shredded.
Does that bother you?
Oh, it annoys me.
Isn't it wrong?
It's wrong because one thing, though, Steve, he works out like a maniac. So, like, he gets up in the morning, he'll put in a 2-3 hour workout, like throwing up real iron. But he's got a 32-inch waist. He looks better than he did when he played, and he's over 50, but he eats everything. And if I ate like he ate, I mean, I'd be 400 pounds, so.
Yeah,
if I wasn't on TV, I'd be fine with being 400 pounds.
Yeah, vanity does have its place.
Yes.
I just want to say that. Speaking of yes, okay, let's talk about being the voice of the Yankees. Describe that gig, because you do virtually, you don't do all the games, but you do a lot of the games. 125, that's the contract.
Yeah.
How do you work that out with the radio gig?
Well, from April through September, it's a tough go for me. I mean, because you're doing the radio show, and boom, right after I'm off the radio show, I run up to the booth and I do the game. So it's like talking for 8 hours straight. And, you know, if you say just the wrong word on live TV, or your career's over. I mean, just even if it's interpreted the wrong way. So there's that pressure, but it's two things that I really love. But, you know, usually toward the end of August and the beginning of September, I'm fried. I mean, you know, my wife could see it, and people that know me can see it. You're just fried.
Yeah, you talked about your wife. Jody Applegate, and I worked together, Fox 5.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about Jody and talk about how you met her, because that's interesting.
Well, I never wanted to be married. I enjoyed being a bachelor. And then I was at the New York Emmy Awards, which is at the Marriott Marquis. I guess it was about 48 at that time. And I saw this woman across the room in a pink dress. And I asked somebody from Yes, I said, is that the girl from Fox 5? They go, yeah. Wow, she's awesome. And he said, oh, yeah, she's married and has 3 kids. Well, she wasn't married. She had been married previously, and she never had kids. So the next day on my radio show, I started saying, I saw a woman yesterday that if I could design the perfect woman for me, at least looks-wise, because I didn't talk to her.
Did you say it was Jody?
Yeah, it would be Jody Applegate. And she was working at News 12 in Long Island at the time, and somebody came into her office and said, you know, Michael Kay is talking about you on the radio. And her reply, which I love, was, well, who's Michael Kay?
Hold on. Jody Applegate says, I don't know Michael Kay?
Not a big sports fan. She had no idea who I was. So then everybody at the News 12 like kind of goaded her into call in. You know, it's a sports talk show. So she called in, and she said she was Jody from Long Island, and I finally got who it was. And at that time, Michelle Beadle, who's on ESPN, was on our show. And she's going, ask her out, ask her out.
Michelle's pretty wild.
She's great. She's great. And I knew she wouldn't be on the show a long time because she's a shooting star.
Yeah,
and,
she pushes, too.
Yeah, she's great. And I asked her out. I asked Jody out. And she said no. So I said, all right, thanks for the phone call. Boom, and I hung up. And 2 months later, I'm walking outside Madison Square Garden. A friend of Jody's walks up to me and says, you know, I'm a friend of Jody Applegate. I had, like, put that in the back of my mind. I said, yeah. She goes, you know, she would go out with you now if you asked, because she was going out with somebody. She felt awkward when you asked her on the air. I said, well, I've embarrassed myself in front of hopefully 1 million people, but probably not that much. I said, she knows how to get in touch with me. And the next day I got an email if that offer still stands. And I think we were married like a year later.
That's awesome. And you have 2 young children.
2 kids. Callie, who's about 3, and Charlie just turned 1. So I'm 54. Do the math. It's not good.
Believe me, being an older dad's a great thing, I know. And Jody Applegate's one of the great broadcasters in this market, and you guys are a great combination.
Thank you.
Yankees? Because I would be remiss. Neal Shapiro, our president, on the back end of this show, one of the great Yankee fans of all time. He's been to more games than, I think he'll admit. And we all, a lot of us around here love the Yankees. I got to ask you, will they in the immediate or in the next few years be the Yankees we want them to be, Michael?
Well, I think that what they've realized, and Hal Steinbrenner is really bright. I mean, the Yankees kind of lucked into the son of an iconic owner being a bright guy who really knows what he's doing. He realizes that every team in baseball has money now. There's so much money in the game with baseball advanced media. Teams are awash in cash, so people don't really lose their players. So the way the Yankees used to do it, you know, going out and getting the big free agents, supplementing what they have, it's hard to do now. So they want to build from within, and they want to get rid of some of their big salaries. I think they'll still make big splashes for guys that they want, but it'll be needle movers, guys that, you know, you don't get up from the TV when they come up. But right now, the Yankees are concerned about keeping their young players like Luis Severino, Greg Bird, Aaron Judge, Jorge Mateo. Those are the type of guys they want to build around, because what they like to create is another core four. Because this great run, although it was supplemented by free agents, it was always Jeter, Posada, Pettit, Rivera, and Bernie Williams was that fifth one.
Will we ever have another core four, in your opinion?
I don't know if you can. I mean, we were so lucky to have that. I think that was a once-in-a-lifetime lightning strike. If they have it, I mean, they'd be blessed. But they had a 20-year run because of that.
So I'm listening to you the last game, Jeter. Does it bring a smile to your face?
Yes, amazing. Only Derek Jeter could do that. I mean, all the planets aligned. They had a lead. So if Robertson had closed the game, it would have been a nice ending, but nothing from phenomenal.
They lose the lead.
Right. He blows the lead, and he had been perfect all year. Blows the lead. I think he gave up 2 home runs. And then, of course, because the way Derek's life has been written, he gets a base hit to end it. I mean, what a perfect ending to his Yankee Stadium career.
When he's walking down those steps, and Torrey is there, do you get emotional?
I got emotional the previous year when Mo got emotional, when Mariano cried on the mound.
Yeah.
And we ended up winning an Emmy for that. It's funny, I won an Emmy for keeping my mouth shut for 20 minutes, so it tells you how good a broadcaster I am. But the next year, when Derek doesn't get emotional, I kind of feed off emotion.
Yeah.
So I know that Derek is very stoic. I thought it was a phenomenally fantastic Yankee moment. I mean, because Joe Torre's like his second dad.
Yeah.
And he's very close with his dad.
Sure.
But Joe Torre is baseball dad. I thought that was beautiful. And I thought it really meant something to the Yankee fan. I think my line was, you know, so long, Derek.
That's what you said.
Yeah, it was
exactly what you said.
Yeah, it was just an amazing. I mean, the Yankees kind of like set the palette up for you and the paint. It's really easy to paint the picture.
So, see ya. Yankee hits a home run. Where's it come from?
It comes from an ex-girlfriend. I got the Yankee radio gig with John Sterling. The first year was '92, and I found out I got the job at the beginning of '92, and I was going out with this young lady who lived in Suffern.
By the way, Michael wrote for the Post and the Daily News?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I'm sorry.
And then whenever she would get out of the car at the end of a date, she'd go, "See you, wouldn't want to be you." So everybody, when you're an announcer, you go, well, I have to have some kind of signature home run call. Maybe you don't have to, but you think you do. And I said, well, maybe see you. But I left out wouldn't want to be you. So this young lady every now and then through people, I haven't had contact with her in 20 years, says, shouldn't I get money for that? I said, well, I don't really make money off see ya. I don't sell T-shirts with see ya. It's just what I say, but that's how it came about.
See ya.
See ya.
Wow.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be a Yankee home run without it.
Yeah, it's been a fun call. And when you walk up and parents bring their 8-year-old kids and they scream see ya, it's really it's kind of a great thing.
A couple of minutes we have left. You do the sports, we do the Yankees. When you're broadcasting the Yankees, you do your radio show every day. You got center stage. Do you get tired of talking about baseball and sports?
Sometimes sports disappoints me in that, some of the things that happen, the Greg Hardys of the world, and people get so locked into sports that it almost becomes an obsession. And sometimes I'll talk to Jody. I said, I don't know, does this make a difference in the world? Maybe I should be doing something else. Should I do politics? And she goes, no, because it does make a difference. It makes people happy. It gets people away from all the politics and the stuff that annoy people in life. She said, so, you shouldn't think of it like, what am I really doing? Because I love doing it. I mean, if I wasn't announcing, I'd be a fan. So I get a chance to bring it to people. So there are moments where, I feel like you want to get into deeper subjects. But, for sports and sports fans, It's pretty important, yeah, and you have to realize that. And the best way I can figure it out, 9/11 happened. And we had a week off, and then I was doing the games with John. And for the first week, I couldn't even bring myself to say
With Sterling?
Yeah, John Sterling. I couldn't say see ya. I said, how trivial. You know, they're still trying to find bodies. And I got letters from people. You don't realize this is what we need. This brings us back to normal. Mm-hmm. And, you know, a couple of the people from MSG, this was before Yes Network, we went down to Ground Zero. And just to see the firemen and the cops come up to us and say, oh, we can't wait for the games. It takes us away from this. So it's people's escape. You know, it's the toy stores, the candy stores, I like to say, but it's important for people. So that's really what drives me.
Michael, it is an honor to have you at our
Thank
studio.
you so much.
And we wish you nothing but the best. You and Jody, your family, your growing family. And
no, it stopped growing. That's it.
Yeah, and you're keep being the voice of the Yankees.
Thank you so much. What a pleasure.
Stay with us. We'll be right back. That was great.
Thank you.
To see more one-on-one with Steve Adubato programs, visit us online at steveadubato.org. If you would like to express an opinion, email us at info@caucusnj.org. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Steve Adubato PhD and follow us on Twitter at Steve Adubato.
You recognize this guy. You see him on the weekends on WNET. Neal Shapiro, our president and chief executive officer at WNET. Real 13.
Real 13. Real 13 has been an enormous hit ever since we've done it, but the most fun is doing those movie clips, doing the promos, because of all the things I get to do, that's the most fun, because sometimes I knew the movie so well. It's my chance to act with Humphrey Bogart, John Wayne, and Marlena Dietrich, which I will never get to do. But I say, here's the line I want, then I'm going to say this. That's enormous fun.
It works well.
It does, and you know, it's often among our most watched programs.
Yeah, it's in the way they come together. They're all very different films. Neal, there's so many things to talk about. It's been a while since we've had you on one-on-one. But one of the most interesting and important developments has been the development of MetroFocus, which has gone from a
monthly show to a weekly show and now to a daily show.
A daily show. We're about to show a clip. Describe it before we see a clip or a series of clips from MetroFocus. What is it?
MetroFocus really, I think, fills the gap. When you look at all the shows around in the tri-state area, commercial news does what it does. What I think MetroFocus does is fill in what it doesn't do. So it doesn't do traffic accidents. It doesn't do that kind of stuff. But it does the important news of the day. It does the deeper dives and the analysis that you expect from public television. And it taps into the excitement of the tri-state area. That means all the thought leaders are here. All the pioneers are here. All the legends are here. And the huge reservoir of arts and culture, they're all here too. And then we partner with great people. So, I mean, frankly, you're on the show. I saw you do an interview. We'll see portions of that. So we have our other people, the WNET family are on the show. Right. And we've had other visiting journalists in. I think it's a really exciting platform. And the most exciting thing is we just started going daily, so we're still evolving.
It's really great. By the way, Neal just mentioned the fact that we just actually interviewed Marlo Thomas, who will be on the show. And one of my favorite interviews, Jack Ford did Angela Lansbury. That's right. Was one of my favorites, and Raphael Piroman, a great...
Jenna Flanagan. You know, and one thing I should say about what makes the show fun is, you know, a lot of things in TV, as you know, you have the tyranny of time cues, right? They were doing Angela Lansbury and Bruce and Jack. This is great. Let's just keep going. And they did the whole show because it was her birthday.
I noticed,
right?
And I thought to myself, Jack's such a great interviewer, and I thought they're going to cut this off. And I said, no, they're doing the whole show, and it just sustained. It was great. By the way, we're talking about it. You should see it. Let's take a look at MetroFocus. It's on every day.
Can't help but wondering whether you ever say to yourself, I wonder if things had been different and I was making this pronouncement today that I am proudly a gay American, if your life would have changed as much as it did, or if people would have said, fine, well, you're still our governor.
You know, it's, you know, you don't know, but all I can do is to be grateful, to grow up in this time, to grow up in a time when you know, my friend Mark Siegel just wrote a book, talk about traversing from a time when homosexuality is listed as a psychiatric illness to a time when, you know, people like Andrew Sullivan had been calling for gay marriage for decades, and to see it become a reality.
And so we have a problem. We have cooks making less than waiters. Fewer people want to become cooks because of that. And the waiters are the people getting the largest raise. So you solve this problem by eliminating the tip minimum at your restaurants, which you do by eliminating tipping, and you can pay everyone a more fair wage.
So why is Danny Meyer on the vanguard of this movement?
Well, he can afford to take the risk.
So, Neal, MetroFocus can be seen every night on WNET.
On 13, WIW, and NJTV. And, of course, online all the time.
Online all the time. Check out the website. Will be up in just 2 seconds. We'll put it up on the screen. Talk to folks, and Dave Brown, who is the executive producer, talk about how challenging it is to do a daily.
You know, the expression we use in TV is you have to feed the beast. Because every day, whether you're ready or not, it's ready for give us more content. So it's a challenge. He's got a great team down there. I think they've done exciting things. Sometimes they'll say, let's do a whole show on something. But this week, or as we're taping this, we're following up on all the events in Paris and the implications in New York. And they've done new shows every day. And they've really had to scramble to do it. I'm very proud of the kind of work they've done. And I'm proud because it's been smart. It's filled in some of the gaps you haven't seen elsewhere. It's the kind of thing that New York needs.
We also, excuse me, should make it clear, well, I mean, Neal is a media executive and former head over at NBC. I've always said this to you, you're a producer at heart.
Yeah, I love it.
And you share your ideas as to what needs to be done, and that's important, because a lot of media executives don't do that. That being said, you also think a lot about the way we distribute content. Talk about that, and talk about how important it is right now to distribute content in ways that people need to receive it and want to receive it.
Right. It's a great point. And the world's changed so much, even in the time we've been in the business, from when there were just a couple TV channels to now this digital world we live in, where more and more people are watching it on whatever device they have. People are watching it on their phones wherever they go. They're watching it on their iPads wherever we go. There's a MetroFocus app where you can now watch the show whenever you want to. That's the way things are going. The thing that's changing about that is not only can people watch it on every platform they want, but sometimes they can customize it as they want to watch it. So sometimes when we put things up, we do a lot of authors, and sometimes we'll put just a highlight on MetroFocus, but we'll put the whole interview up. And sometimes we'll put it in pieces, so you can watch part 1 and part 4 and part 3 and then part 2 if that's the way you want to watch it. More and more consumers say, I want to take control of this. Even as producers, we might say, that's a crazy way to watch it. That's how they choose to watch it. And I think we have to be sensitive, especially to younger viewers who are used to controlling content in a way that we're not. When we grew up, there were very few channels. The only choice was to watch it when it was on. Now everybody can watch it when they choose to watch it. So a lot of our programs get big ratings when they're on. For most things in TV, still, the highest rating you get is the first time it plays when it's on live. But more and more, people get it on whatever device they have, or on their digital device. That's why the ratings are now changing. So people don't just say, how'd you do on the first day? It's how'd you do +2, +3, +7, because they get all those ratings together.
The cumulative number.
Exactly.
But Neal, the other thing I'm fascinated by is we had the Sesame Street folks here yesterday when we were taping. Abby Kadabi was here, right? Right? She's great as always. She turned 4. Did you know that? And Jeanette Betancourt, it was great. But it had me thinking about the HBO situation, which I'm sure you've thought about. And here's my question. Are we going to, in public broadcasting, are we going to have to think more and more about the lines? I'm not going to say being blurred, but just being more creative and imaginative about not just staying in the game, but thriving and thinking about things differently.
Well, I think, yes, we have to think about things differently in all ways, and how we distribute, which we just talked about, and maybe how we fund. I think it's important, though, in the Sesame Street case to remember Sesame Street is a show unto its own. It's a pioneering show with an iconic brand name that no other show has. So that may be the case why HBO wanted that show. But this is not the case for most of our shows that we're going to be, I think, inundated by offers by other people saying, gee, we want your content too. The fact is, a lot of what we do is made for public television precisely because...
Only for public television.
Because it doesn't work commercially. The reason that arts and culture is so much a part of what we do is because if ABC, NBC, CBS, or Fox could do it and make $1, they do it. But they
there
can't.
it is.
They
and
can't.
because you know the commercial side and have headed up the commercial side, you understand that psyche.
Yeah.
They would have done it. They'd be doing it now.
Right. And I don't blame them. They're in the business of eyeballs. They're not in the business of souls. Right? It doesn't make a difference to them. Right? If you watch a totally forgettable reality show, that's fine. That counts, and advertisers are happy. Our shows are different. Right? They mean something to people. And we care about, it's harder to measure, but we care about the richness of experience. And whether there's shows like this where you hear smart conversation, or dramas, or history, or whatever it is, people come back, I'm sure they'll tell you, I saw an interview you did 5 years ago, it still stayed with me. I saw a play 7 years ago, I still think about it. I don't think people are thinking about who got kicked off the island 2 seconds after it happened.
No, they don't even remember. And the other thing that will never happen, and when Neal and I talk, we try never to bash or trash our colleagues on the commercial side, but we know we're different, and this is the other way I know we're different. And it's not just that Saturday dedicated to everything about education that's great about education, but it's everything leading up to it. Talk about that day, what it is, and why it's so important.
Yeah. American Graduate Day, probably a great standalone example of something only we would do. Who else would take 7 hours of your airtime, your most valuable resource?
Nobody.
Right, and devote it to the issue of dropouts and getting kids to stay in school, and then partner with other nonprofits and say, we'd like you to come on, and you can use our airtime to get support for you. So in fact, the last time we did it, we had two nonprofit groups on. After the show, somebody gave him a check for $500,000.
$500,000.
Somebody else got a check for $300,000 because they said, I wasn't sure what you did. Now that I saw it, and I saw it on a trusted place, public television, I'm going to help you out. Well, that's not what commercial TV is in the business for, but we are a part of communities. We care not just about entertaining, inspiring people. We're a part of the fabric of it. And if we can do things like this show and spend time, we spent a year planning this show.
American Graduate Day is a year leading up to it.
And we get all these nonprofits, and a lot of things happen. Part is just by convening people. We've had, in our conference room, we bring groups together to say, what are we going to do on the show? And literally, people who do the same kind of work have never met each other because they're all in the foxhole doing their work. The fact we can bring people together and say, you know what, together we can do something bigger and better, that's something only public television can do.
Michael Kay was on the first half of this show. I got to ask you, 2016 Yankees, you say? Neal's a huge Yankee fan. Say, look, your entire expression changed.
Here's the problem. Here's what I do. Every year I go and
30 seconds.
Every year I go and think it's going to be a very tough year, and then I'm pleasantly surprised. So I think it's going to be a very challenging year, and I hope I'm pleasantly surprised.
And you're a big fan of Michael Kay's and the Yes Network.
Love them.
See, that was easy. It's going to be a big year for public television, a big year for WNET 13 and our WLAW, and NJTV, by the way, great year. Neal, thank you for allowing us to be here in the studio. See you guys next time one-on-one. That was great.
Great.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating over 25 years of broadcast excellence. This special edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato is brought to you from the Tisch WNET studios at Lincoln Center. Funding has been provided by Oscar Health Insurance, Robert Wood Johnson University Hospital, Johnson & Johnson, Valley National Bank, NJM, the Fidelco Group, and by the Russell Berry Foundation. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area.
Driving safety is not a joke. It's not a punchline. It's more than just an ad campaign. It's a frame of mind. And it's an everyday commitment. By taking a few simple steps, many car accidents can be avoided. Become an advocate for driving safety today. This message has been brought to you as a public service by NJM Insurance Group.